guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and we're going to go through mounting this thing on a stand, and I'm going to show you just the highlights of putting this thing together and a couple tricks that I use for steel fab. And maybe you'll learn something, maybe it's something you already know, I don't know. But we're going to do a little steel fab today and get this thing on show you how to get this thing on its levelers. Now this is just a test fit. We hit it first time, and the stand still needs to be cleaned and painted, obviously. So I'm going to pull the plate and scrub it down, get all the dingleberries off of it, and clean it and get a coat of paint on it. And here, let's just cut to the welding bench back when we started this this little project, and let's build a stand. Hey guys, welcome to the welding bench, and today we're going to make a stand for my new granite plate. And you just don't go supporting them by four corners. I learned an awful lot from my visit over at Standridge. And on the back side of your calibration insert, they give you a really nice instruction on how to build a stand. Now they do offer stands, but I didn't go for that. And on the bottom there's 3 pockets. They want a 3-point mount, which is technically that is the easiest thing in the world to level. And then in the corners they give you a containment angle just to keep you from sliding the plate around, and keep your adjustment bolts on the 3 points. So they give you a really clear drawing of what your stand is supposed to look like. And I do believe anything bigger than 18 by 24, they want them on those 3 points mounts. Now what's interesting is during all the final lapping and the final calibration of the top of your plate, it's always sitting on those 3 points. So when they ship it, it's just sitting down on 2x4 and crating material, and until you get it back on those 3 points and get the plate to come back to where it was when it was calibrated, it's never going to be 100% accurate. And they do not. It says that you're not warranted for calibration if you don't have it mounted on these on these 3 points. And they give you a pocket underneath for these to index to. They've already got like a cushion epoxied on, so it's ready to go. And I just made some quick bosses. Here's one plate here. It's already got a hole drilled in it, and just a simple little boss, threaded boss. Drop that in, weld it in, and I've got my mounts. And I've made corners at a just simple angle. And we're doing this arrangement here with the 3-point attachments. It's showing its suspension points, and then there's your angles in the corners to capture the plate. All right, so we're going to I'm going to get this top made first, and then we'll figure out the legs later. I'm not quite sure how high I want the plate yet, but I want to get this top piece done. So already got my material cut up. I got a little bit more drilling to do and get some stuff prepped, and I'll bring it back when I got it all tacked together. Back to the welding bench, and a lot of times you've got some tubing that maybe that you're going to repurpose, and you might have a hole in it and you want to get rid of it. This is the hole I'm going to use, but this piece of tubing had a hole already in it, but it was a nice chunk of tubing. It just had a couple of pre-drilled things. I'm going to lay a tip on you. What we're going to do is we're going to slip this under there and back it up, and then just do a plug weld on the hole just to create some strength and close off the hole, keep spiders and stuff from going in there. But I'm going to show you a really easy way to hold this. You see, you can't get your hand in there, and maybe a stick or something. But I'm going to show you what I do. You just grind yourself a little flat spot, clamp it down to the bench, and then go over to your MIG and turn your heat all the way down. Let me run and do that. I forgot to do that ahead of time. Turn your MIG all the way down to nothing, and then get a short wire going, and then just come in right in the center and intentionally fuse the wire to there, and don't let it bust off. Okay, so we're good. And now I want you to pay out a little bit of wire. Remove the ground, obviously. Pay out some wire. Flip it off with dikes. And now we got a nice little handle to pull that up into the into the hole. Okay, so we got our welder set back where it was, and we've got our chunk of scrap with a handle on it, and we're going to plug up this hole, and we're just going to use that wire to fish that in. And this is an old trick from doing off-road race cars. We used to do this to actually tubing on the roll bars. We do it to tubing to get wires put in it. We do it to tubing to plug up unused holes. We'd use MIG wire for all kinds of stuff. As you can see right there, I got a good firm hold on that. And I'm able to get in there and give myself a tack. Put this clamp down, create a ground path there. Okay, now we are tacked. Let's take a look at that. That's a real easy way to get rid of unused holes. Now all I'm going to do is just go around in a circle and plug weld that thing in, and our unwanted hole is gone. I mean, you could fill it completely and grind and polish and make it like it never happened, or all I'm doing is looking for the structural integrity of the tube and not allow any foreign object entry. That's the only reason I'm doing it here. So I'm just going to run around in a circle and be done with it. And there you have it. Yeah, it's a completed plug weld. All right. Here's a common problem when laying out some square. You know, you get everything all tacked together. You're pretty happy with it. You checked it with the squares, but you tack it, and it moves on you. And if you didn't pin it down to the table when you were doing it, quite often you get a little lazy. Just tack it up, which is what I did here. So from corner to corner, we're measuring 41 on the dot. Over here we're measuring 40 and 7/8. So technically what we'd want to see at both sides is 40 and 15/16. So we only got to shove one in, you know, a 1/16 of an inch, and no big deal. And I'll show you how I do it. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can tack your piece down to the table and then pry it off and grind it out later. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a couple of clamps down here. And basically I'm going to just pin this side of the rectangle down to the table. And then over here I've got another clamp that I've put in and clamped down to the table, and I'm just going to use, this is just a wedge. You can maybe use like a log splitting wedge. You can tell this has been beat on a few times. So you just come in there to the corner and tap that thing in until you get the number you want to see. And all I'm doing is driving this section that way to lower this dimension and raise this dimension. Now what I choose to do is I'm going to go back and just burn back into my tacks with a little bit of pressure on it, and then let everything relax and check it again. But that's a way to impose your will on a rectangle that may be just slightly out of square after you tack it together. Okay, so we've got our carrier, our upper tabletop finished, welded, done, squared. We're happy with it. And there's our adjusters, and we just put a little bit of white grease on those just to keep them free. And I actually polished the tops of the bolts with a grinding wheel or a belt sander actually to just take the letters off so that when you turn them you don't dig into those little epoxied on pads. And back to our threaded bosses. We're going to make the legs now. And I actually keep these little threaded bosses in a bin, you know, when someone doesn't have anything to do, they can make these. We use them for all kinds of stuff. They're handy to weld on conveyors. You just weld it on, and then you got something to bolt to. So we used them here, and now we're going to use them for the legs. And here's another trick. All right, that's a foundation washer for a house. You can buy these. I think they come out to about 40 cents a piece. They're already 2x2. They already got a 5/8 hole. And if I take that and weld that right there and bring a bolt in here from the bottom, I've got a pretty nice leveling leg. So what I'm going to do is take, my legs are going to be 2x2, as seen here. And see, that just welds right to that. But first you weld your threaded boss on the inside and put it in there, and now you've got a very nice leveling leg. So that's just going to go like that. And we've chosen 34.5 inches for our legs. To put the granite plate, the top of it where we want it. So let's get that done, and we're going to go from there. Well, we're going to get some paint on it, and I haven't decided yet, but I think I want a small drawer underneath for stowing little surface plate related items like 1, 2, 3 blocks and V blocks and little things like that. But I think after I get the base built, I may fit it with a shop made drawer. Okay, so yeah, let's get started on this. Okay, so we got our plate washers ready, and we got our setup bolt ready, and we got all our slugs done. Now, there's two ways to do this. You could go through to every single slug and turn a little shoulder on there to center that thing up, or you could take the one setup bolt you're going to use and turn just a small shoulder right against the hex, just so it locates in the hole. Hold it in like that. Now that bolt is on center, and then just take your slug and just thread it down tight on that until you feel it pinch, and everything will be captured, and then you can tack weld it. Yeah, there we are. And we hold, and just by hand, you don't have to do anything extravagant. And now we're captured on that hole, so the choice is yours. Either do all the slugs or one bolt. It's only 4 of them here. It doesn't really matter. And turning 4 of those in a lathe would be no big deal. You get 20 or 30, do the bolt every time, and twice on Sunday. So now we're just going to put a quick tack on it. And that way we can still handle it without it being smoking hot. We'll come back and finish welding later. And see, there you have it, centered. And you'll hit center every single time. And we'll come back after we're done and do every single one of them. Completely weld them after we're done tacking. Okay, so we got our legs tacked. And we're reasonably square, but the final squaring is going to be what you do is you measure down low, down here, measure this width, and then cut yourself a piece for your top, and whatever it takes to make them parallel, you know, force them together or drive the piece in and drive it apart. You're really close to square right now, and get it as close as you can before you do that. But now we've just got a few uppers to make, and get it all tacked together, check it for square in all directions, and give it a final. Okay, we're up on a final with this. It's completely welded. I broke away from the Standridge diagram. They showed 2 bars down here at the bottom, and I'll show you why I did it. I There's a one across there. I want to be able to roll into the chair, put my feeties here. I want to put my feet on the bar, I can. And if I roll in and out, I'm not going to hit anything. But that's going to put my plate right about here. And if you're sitting there doing a lot of work, this is perfect. I'm just real happy with this. One more thing I'm probably going to do, since you guys do like the sheet metal so much, before we get this cleaned and sanded and painted, I'm going to install a couple of angles underneath these two tubes here and have just an angle facing down, and we'll make a nice little sliding drawer about 3 inches deep to hold gauge blocks, V blocks, 1, 2, 3 blocks, building blocks, Lego blocks, and any other blocks we can think of. So I think just one nice little drawer right here that indexes all the way under out of your way, so you don't drag your belly on it. When you're working, the plate is just right here. But I think before I paint it up, I'm going to go ahead and install 2 angles, very parallel, right under these tubes right here. And I'm probably going to tack in a piece of sheet metal in this square, because there is an air gap around the plate, and I don't want dust and dirt and stuff like that getting under in my drawer. So I'll probably block this top off with just a flat sheet and get my angles welded on, and then we're gonna give this thing a coat of paint, get the plate on it, and get it over in there where it belongs. I can make the drawer at any time, but at least the angles will already be welded in, ready to go. All right, that brings this to a final. Thanks for watching. Okay, I'd call that a good fit. What do you think, guys? All right, let's get it back off of there and get ready to get it painted up.